Now, WNWY reports across the globe from What's News with You, with comedians Josh Johnson and Ashley Gavin, and you, our reporters in the field. What's News with You?
Our guest got sick this morning, texted me. He's not doing well.
Okay.
So it's just us. So I have been forced today to sit on my own face over here.
Yeah.
And, I'm not happy about it, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that what is a show if it needs a guest anchor every time?
Every time. Well,
You know what I mean?
We're not good enough.
Yeah. The permanent anchors should anchor at least once in a while
To prove that they can anchor.
Yeah, it would be like in the local news if they threw to the weatherman for most of the program.
But sometimes the weatherman's
Sometimes the weatherman's
cute.
really good. Have you seen that weatherman? I think he's in Jacksonville.
Josh. What?
Oh, what? No. You gotta look. There's a weatherman that I'm gonna just send it to Alex. It may
when
not
you
even
watch
be
content, do you watch it on 4 times speed?
I do watch it on double speed.
How are you ingesting this much media? A weatherman in Jacksonville?
I don't know if he's in Jacksonville. I can't remember where he's from, but he is very good at dancing.
Oh, he's famous for this.
Yeah, he's famous for this. So it wasn't like I was watching Jacksonville's news and not in Jacksonville or something like that. I feel like sometimes people think that I have those like 8 screens going at one time.
I think that's what your brain looks like on the inside.
Maybe, but he was just going viral for being very good.
And you know what's fucked up? Like, you're still a genius. You're still so prolific. But I do think 7 of the 8 screens is the equivalent of the dancing weatherman from Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you.
I think,
like a lot of it is trash.
Right.
A lot of people are like,
there's like one genius screen where you're synthesizing all the information, but a lot of it is just like the woman slipping on the grapes.
Have you seen Chimp Crazy?
Seen what?
Chimp Crazy? Oh, let me tell you right now, Chimp Crazy. Oh, yeah, it's a documentary series on HBO, and it is absolutely phenomenal because it goes deep. It goes deep into what is normally, this is what gets me, all right? I understand.
Some of the branding, if you want to see.
Oh, yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
Came out, I think, last year, and it is, it's nice to, I know we live in a world where the men are doing a lot of the killing. Right?
Sure.
They're doing a lot of the murder, a lot of the bad stuff. A lot of the true crime that comes out is about us as men, right?
I don't love that you said us and you're talking to me, but keep going.
Well, I meant us as in the person speaking.
It's about you.
But yeah.
You can say me.
Yeah, well, I'm...
Oh, God damn it. We need a permanent
For the listener at home, the sign just fell. No, I like that it falls.
No.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It lets us know where we are in the vibe of the show.
Listener, patreon.com/WNWY. Do we deserve a sign? Probably not.
It
Keep
will
going.
get us more tape if you join the Patreon. So many.
Inflation is crazy.
It really is bad. We're
the
about to
tape
have
is
empty
expensive.
shelves. So if you are watching true crime, you're getting a sense of like, wow, these men, fellas, are pretty terrible. They're doing a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, if you were an alien from another planet and all you had to work off of was true crime, you'd be like, oh, get rid of the men.
Yeah, kill all of them except for like the 3 that tell every time. Like there's always a man that tells, and he's like on the right side of things, not because he stood up to anything. He was just like, no, yeah, I saw that guy get in his truck with a big old machete. Like he just happens to be in the right place at the right time to help solve the crime, right? And I was getting so down on the fact that, man, it's always the men. The men are the worst. And then you see a documentary series like Chimp Crazy. It comes out, it's not necessarily true crime, but it's only ladies it's only ladies as the stars of the show.
Sure.
Being pretty terrible, kidnapping these chimps, treating them like children, even when they have children, and then holding on to them until they're big and strong, and they slap people's faces off.
Yep.
And that was like, wow, okay, we're evening the scales just a bit, if only by a millimeter.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because, well, the thing is that women, like this brand of crazy where someone needs to control somebody, women, I feel like, based on their size, hard to control another human man. Children outgrow your control. At a certain point, you have to turn to chimps.
You've actually hit the nail on the head, because one of the obsessions with the chimps and one of the reasons that, and I can't believe there's not a name for it. When you watch the series, you'll
Chimp
be
crazy.
like, there should, well, yeah, that, but I meant
doctor diagnosing.
Yeah, I meant in the DSM.
You might have borderline personality disorder. You could also be chimp crazy.
Yeah, I was hoping for a name in the actual
Sure.
you know, DSM. But
weirdly, it's niche. It's too niche.
it's genuinely too niche. I'm sure it's only 5 women in general, so that doesn't really cover an entire diagnosis. But in the thing, that's one of the things that one of the main ladies straight up says. She's like, my kids grow up, and they talk to me sometimes, and they get their own lives and everything. It's like, the chimps stay here.
No, yeah, it's a very,
and it's a very, like, honestly, when you watch something like this, it does make you want to join PETA fully, because you're like, this is so wrong.
Yeah,
like,
I knew there was a reason I'm a vegetarian, and now I remember.
Yeah. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's not like they're eating the chimps, but they are indeed holding on to them in a way that at first is very cute, because apparently the first few months to like a year of like owning a chimp, like having a chimp in your home, because these chimps are in the house.
God, you know so much, Josh.
Right? They're in the house. And so then they're just in the house. And so when the chimp got the diaper on and it's just like a baby chimp and it's acting like a little baby, I do get how somebody can start to like warp that thing into, I can hold on to this chimp forever. This is my baby, right?
Right.
I get how that happens. And then they feed them with the bottle, and the chimp genuinely like needs them because their mother's not around or anything.
Sure, yeah.
But then around 3, they get hella strong. And they get strong in that way you accidentally do stuff. Like you ever see like a strong man turn around too fast just knock somebody out?
Of course.
Okay,
yes.
so the chimp is strong enough to be like playing with you,
right,
and like doing the thing that babies
break
do, like you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just bring your whole mouth off. Right?
Right.
And then at 5 is when you really gotta stop. This is when you have to like send the chimp to a sanctuary or something like that, because it is so strong.
The chimp, well, now the chimp, it's got to go to kindergarten.
You've
raised this chimp.
Yeah.
It's time to go to chimp camp.
Yeah.
Chimp kindergarten.
And the chimp is strong enough to lift the kitchen counter out the kitchen. This part has never happened before. I feel like that's good. I think that this'll work.
Let's slide it in there.
Yep.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
There we go.
Yeah, we're doing well. But yeah,
Can I just take a moment?
Yeah.
Alex, you fucking piece of shit. You have one job.
Wow.
No, I think the sign was Chimp Crazy, dude. You heard all this
Dude,
chimp
it's got to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, one of the other reasons that it's good to have a guest anchor, it does make us start the show officially. I just realized that we never...
Oh, yeah. Some of this is getting cut.
Yeah, I just realized that we never... Welcome to What's News With You, the news show about everything that's not in the news.
Should we do our news?
Yeah, let's do our news. Do you want to go first?
I do have news.
Okay.
It's really great news. Well, it's not entirely great news, but the beginning's great news.
Yeah.
Jen and I have started an herb garden in our windowsill in the kitchen.
Okay, living.
Yeah. Isn't that so nice?
That is very quaint.
It's so quaint.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so lesbian.
You don't really get hit with a lot of Q words in life, and that's a quaint one.
It is quaint. It's quite romantic, dare I say.
Okay.
We're growing basil and mint. We have cilantro seeds, so we're going to grow that. The mint is flowering.
Yeah.
I'm actually blown away by how thriving our plants are in the window.
Yeah.
It gets good light. I love plants, so I looked online how to take care of them, and I'm doing a pretty solid job. And we made pesto with the basil. We made homemade pesto, and I tried it, and my thought was, oh, maybe there's a reason that these things are grown in places that are not New York City. Because while it was good, I was like, that basil is not quite basil. It's New York City basil. So there's like notes of urine. You know what I mean?
So you've seen too much. It's like, as a basil plant, you've had to see a lot of like errant balls that were just sort of out and stuff like that. Whereas if you're rural basil, you have the innocence of growing up with other basil.
Yes.
And really only knowing what it's like to be out in the fresh
field,
air.
Yes, the fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, this basil definitely feels like
it's seen violence,
and blood and urine.
Yeah. I feel like it's different if you grow any basil near gang violence. It will not taste. It won't taste amazing,
and it really makes you think about you. It makes you think like, oh, I'm supposed to be, out in the world.
You know what I'm realizing now?
I'm born and raised here.
Yeah, what I'm realizing now is, from you saying this, is that a lot of trauma helps people become good cooks, but it doesn't help the food. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody, I won't say everybody, but like almost every culture's food that's like from the worst time, like when they were in a famine, when they were like struggling and they were like, oh, all we have is this rice water, and it's the most delicious rice water.
Yes,
because they've been tinkering with it for, as long as it took them to survive as a people.
Yeah.
But the actual, like, if you actually put that rice through something, if you really set that rice down, it was like, hey, you'll never be anybody.
I think we might be talking about comedians right now, Josh. I think if you look at the ingredients that the comedians were raised on, if you looked at that comedian and pulled it apart, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Where is that joke coming from?
Yeah.
The early death of my father. That's where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Like that, you find it, but the comedian themselves, great. Funny.
Yeah. Like, as a person, great to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you have what's news with you?
One thing that happened was I was very hungry. I had to, do the shows and everything. And I ordered some food for between the shows. Now, whenever I order food at the shows, I know it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold because it's going to get ordered at a certain time, but then trying to time it right versus
Very
when
difficult.
the food will get there is like, even if you ordered it 20 minutes after I went on stage, I'm doing an hour, there's still something sometimes, right? And the food gets there, and I had said like no garlic sauce, and I had said it in lots of places. I had said it in the instructions.
Every possible place.
I actually also said it on the instructions, but the last notes I said it too. The last notes under, do you want utensils? I was like, hey, this is not for... The driver has no power over whether or not there's garlic sauce, but I even put no garlic sauce there just to see if maybe he'd check it and be like, yo, my man, no garlic sauce, right? and so the food came, and it was loaded with garlic sauce, and it was such a cartoonish amount, I couldn't even be mad. I really was. I was like, nah, that's fair, because either there was a chef in there that day that was like, you know what the world needs? That garlic. So the world needs to get a little garlic, because garlic is actually good for you.
It's very good for you. It has a lot of health benefits.
Garlic a day.
Yes.
Throwing it down.
Yeah.
Right? So then I think either that chef was like, hey, garlic sauce for everybody. I'm healing the world today. or they saw how many times I wrote it, and they were like,
they got mad.
You know what?
Fuck
he deserves
this guy.
nothing.
Yeah.
I bet you he a foreigner, because I was coming in from the U.S.
Or, can I put this in your mind?
What's up?
They thought you were a vampire.
They were like, this will kill him quick. Because before I opened the to-go plate, I could smell it.
Right?
And I was like, all right, that's...
Because why would, I gotta say, Josh, I'd be suspicious that you were a vampire. Because garlic is the best thing in the world.
Garlic is amazing. The only reason...
It's so good.
Everyone else loved their meal. This was actually a really delicious place, but one of my friends was asking me, he's like, why didn't you want garlic sauce on? Do you not like garlic? I was like, no, it's not that at all. It's just that when you
I already know. I just want you to say it.
When you order it as is and it comes with garlic sauce, you serve at the pleasure of the chef who believes how much sauce should go on the food, right? And so I'm just trying to control the amount of sauce that goes on the food, right?
You don't want to have a food-related emergency on stage.
No, I don't.
And you're going to be doing a meet and greet with people, and you don't want to stink.
And I got more sauce than anybody.
Because you are a vampire.
Because I was the only one that was like, hey, please don't hit me with that sauce.
I don't know, man.
Please don't hit me with the sauce. And if I was a vampire, I wouldn't have made it right now. You know what I mean? It's daytime. I walked in the sun to get here.
Okay.
And I was full of meats that I had tried to eat the garlic sauce around because it was too much.
Full of meats.
What they did that felt violent and at best negligent was they hit me with the rice and the potatoes and the meats, and then they just made that whole second half sauce. And then they threw on some more meat, little bit of rice, sauce. And so I had a
Lasagna.
5-layer dip.
Yeah.
Chicken and beef shawarma garlic sauce.
And
All
I can't
because
think of anything better to eat in a hurry before you run on stage.
Yeah. So that was painful.
Well, should we go to our correspondence?
Yeah.
We should. Guys, these are submitted and prioritized for our executive producers and our field reporters on our Patreon. So these guys are supporting the Patreon, and because of that, we listen to their news, patreon.com/WNWY. There's no ads on this podcast. Go donate, please.
And this first bit
You
of
gotta
news,
say something. I can't.
Yes. Yes. Hit us up at patreon.com/WNWY
boom.
for the bonus time that we spend on the podcast and for us to really get to know you as executive producers. We'll be reading your news first, and you'll get the first crack at any bonus things that we do.
And we do bonus things. There's a pilot episode on there.
Yeah.
Speaking of executive producers, this first story comes from one of them, one of our lovely supporters, Amanda, giving us her news today.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Amanda.
Hey guys, this is Amanda. I am from a very small town in Arkansas. And what's news in that town is apparently there was this guy that got arrested for drug possession. And he refuses to give the police his real name. He will only call himself Shaggy. And anytime the cops
Great
try
name.
to ask him any questions, all he'll say is Scooby Doo catchphrases like "Zoinks, man! I don't carry."
Can you pause real quick? So, okay, I was on his side until I realized he was fighting to be Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
I thought he was going to go with the other Shaggy.
He could either go with the other Shaggy,
Wasn't me.
or he could go with a new Shaggy that when they ask him, but what's your legal name? I'm Shaggy, baby. You know what I mean? I feel like you could make a whole character through that, especially if you don't have your birth certificate on you, if you don't have your driver's license on you, and they really don't know who you are. I'm Shaggy. You know what I mean? You get your own voice with it. You get your own like mannerisms.
I don't think
you know?
he gets his own. I think he gets whatever the fuck you just came up with.
Yeah.
I'm Shaggy, baby.
I'm Shaggy, baby, and then
Real
just
squeaky, like.
yeah, just squeaking it, and then like they're like, show me your hand. You're like, okay, you know what I mean? Shaggy listens.
I actually think that's a great character
Mhm.
because they'll be like, wait a minute, which Shaggy is this?
Yeah,
I know about Shaggies. I don't know about this Shaggy.
Because trying to act like Scooby Doo Shaggy, you know Scooby Doo Shaggy got warrants anyway. You know what I mean? He does. Trespassing. They always somewhere they're not supposed to be. They always on
And
somebody's
probably
property.
drug offenses.
Probably drug offenses. That's why he's always hungry.
Yeah.
All right. Theft, like petty theft, because sometimes they stealing food. Sometimes this is what's really bothered me.
Some parking tickets. Unpaid parking tickets.
Just because Fred driving doesn't mean you can't be held culpable. All right. You were in the car. You got out of the car.
Is Fred always driving?
I think.
Let's look that up.
Do they ever share the drive? This is the important.
I feel like they've shared the drive
this is
before.
what CNN isn't covering.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love the idea of the police force just being like, what is this Shaggy thing?
What's this
and
guy
trying to
doing?
look it up.
Fred is the most frequent driver.
Yeah, I know that they
Pretty
let
consistently.
Shaggy drive one time. Something was wrong with Fred.
Why aren't they let the women driving?
Well, Velma doesn't have good eyes.
That's
Josh.
No, I'm not trying to be rude, but Velma, first of all, if
she has glasses.
She has glasses, but if you know you got it like that, if you know you got that bad vision where you can't see like a plane that's in front of you, put the strap on. She gotta put the strap on the glasses. I can't do it with Velma anymore. Going strapless and then tripping, and then the glasses fly to another room. And she like, I can't see without my glasses, says it every episode.
I guess to your point, she does drop the glasses a lot.
If you got grandma eyes, wear grandma glasses. Boom. These right here, you got that strap.
I like that you got a tight strap.
Yeah.
You're illustrating, for the listener at home, you're illustrating a tight.
Yeah.
You're not talking about like a glasses chain.
No.
You're talking about a strap.
I'm talking about a strap
She's gotta get
where she keep that thing on her, that sight.
Yeah.
Catchphrases like "Zoinks, man! I don't carry any ID," and then he'll ask for Scooby snacks, and for he'll say different things like that. And then
pause it. Do you think that he's preparing to claim insanity?
Well, he is on drugs. This is a drug offense.
Oh, see, I'm so stupid. I don't do any drugs. I'm just thinking like, this is a great way to start just planting the seeds of your case.
Of you being like, because I don't know if you ever heard about that guy that he was planning to do exactly that. He's getting arrested, right? And then he knows he's going to be arrested. So look, this may be an urban legend, but when I read it, it was about somebody in like Fulton County. But basically he's getting arrested, knows he's getting arrested, goes to, doesn't put up a fight, anything, goes to court to get his, what's it called? Like right after you go to holding, it's like your initial, you've just been charged and the judge is, I guess, deciding.
Bail or whatever?
Yeah, like where they set bail and stuff. And he knew he was going to get locked up and he knew he wanted to plead insanity. So he had put peanut butter in his underwear before the cops came. And then he over there.
Nothing's as insane as that.
No. Nobody knew it was there. And then this man is listening to the judge. And the judge is asking him, do you understand the charges? And he's like, yes, judge. And then takes a lick of the peanut butter. And everybody in the court was like, oh, he crazy. Oh, he crazy. Oh, he crazy. And later they found out it was peanut butter. But that was
pretty smart move.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius. I wonder if it was crunchy. Sorry.
And then he warned the detectives that if they don't let him go soon, the gang is going to show up and unmask the real villain. What's even funnier about this is the chief deputy of this town's name is Bart Simpson. So I don't know what's going on up there, but it is crazy. I just thought you guys would find that fun. All right. Thanks. Bye.
That's incredible.
That's great.
If your name is Bart Simpson and you pull people over for speeding, you must make a lot of arrests because there's no way that it doesn't come up. There's no way that you don't just finally get so pissed off that you're like, you know what, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
They
always say, eat my shorts to you or something when you try to get them to leave the car.
That's wild. Bart Simpson. Also, the other thing I'll say is I know that Scooby Doo is a cartoon, but every once in a while, especially once it got really procedural with it, like you knew they were going to You knew that they were going to solve the mystery within like the last 2 minutes of the show, all stuff like that. And they were always pulling people's faces off. Remember those couple episodes where they went to pull, but they were wrong?
Yes.
And
I
I'm
do.
like, they just assaulted somebody.
They did assault someone.
And
yes.
didn't address it at all. They were straight up like, and sometimes it'd be early in the episode too. They'd be like, oh, we figured it out, Velma killing them.
yank.
And then yank, like pulling somebody by the chair. A person's like, what are you doing? Hey, real quick, thank you so much for listening, watching the show and everything. If you want your voicemail to be reacted to the way that one just was, all you have to do is hit us up on patreon.com/WNWY. And we will make sure to prioritize your voicemails in episodes.
And it's a great way to keep this podcast going. It supports me and Josh, but not just us. Our producer, Alex, it makes this possible.
But we have another story from an executive producer.
Wow.
This one's a news story coming from Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Hi, I'm calling with a local news story out of Buffalo, New York. I wanted to let you know about the Buffalo Pothole Bandit. So for a few years now, there's been a street
Can you
artist
pause
in
it
Buffalo.
real quick?
That's what they called me in college.
Wow.
The Buffalo Pothole Bandit.
So the thing about some of the
Pothole
names,
is pussy. That's the joke.
the problem with a lot of these names of villains and thieves and stuff is that sometimes what they're doing is it's so apparent that they just put it in the name, but like you gotta get more creative than that, because it's like when you go into a bad restaurant because it says Chinese restaurant, like that's the name,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, they didn't try at all. And that's more letters. Why would you order all those letters? You put Chinese restaurant. I know people know where they're going.
I do
but
think
like,
they might be English as a second language, Josh.
yeah, but even if they put, I'm saying, even if they went fully authentic and put something where we didn't really catch it, we'd still be like, that's authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To call it Chinese restaurant makes it look like a front.
Okay.
Pothole Bandit. I don't even need to know anything else. I think I've got the whole story right now. And I'm not, that's not a dig on Kelly. That's as Buffalo, as a city, needs to come together and brainstorm. You know what I mean?
Have you been to Buffalo?
Buffalo as a city needs to come together and brainstorm a bit, because it's like it's even with heroes. Spider-Man, right on the line. Spider-Man is very close, because Batman is a little bit better, because Batman.
You think Batman's better?
He's not actually a bat, so you're not saying everything that he is in that way. He's more man than he is bat. He just dresses up.
Spider-Man is actually a spider.
Yeah, he part spider.
Shoots webs.
Okay, all right.
No, he got bit by a spider. Now he part spider.
All right, okay.
It's not like a spider's his daddy. It's just he is part spider.
No, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be insane. No, come on now.
Buffalo Pothole Bandit. So for a few years now, there's been a street artist in Buffalo that goes by the Buffalo Pothole Bandit. They fill in really terrible potholes around the city, of which there are plenty, and then do little mosaics or other art pieces that are in the cement of the pothole repair. So they're just permanent art pieces. They're anonymous and their Instagram is great. But my favorite part is that recently Sean Ryan is running for the mayor of Buffalo. And he has been doing collaborations with the Buffalo Pothole Bandit, kind of as a promotion of how negligent the other mayor had been of the pothole situation. But they put together a bracket, like a March Madness style bracket, where people were able to vote on the worst pothole. And then Sean Ryan, as a politician, went with the anonymous street artist, the Buffalo Pothole Bandit, and they filled it in together as a kind of promotion of the Sean Ryan campaign. And we just love to see that kind of teamwork, I think, in a day where politics is so jaded. It's nice to see a candidate do something as ridiculous as that.
Now, listen, I don't know either of these candidates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know their platforms. I don't know their parties. That's fucking cool. And I would vote for that guy.
When I tell you right now, that we need more collabs with Bandits.
Yes, more
All right?
Bandit
You
collab.
You want to get cool?
Look at that.
I mean, that is dope.
Pothole Bandit.
I'm actually going to be going to Buffalo later in the year, and I can't wait to see it.
I wish I had known about this when I went up there. This stuff is sick.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I mean, like, I'm just being sincere. I'm not doing any bits on this. Like, I just love street art.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes a city better. I think trying to ban it is so stupid. I will say it sounds like if you vote for the other candidate, though, more potholes for which the bandit to make their art.
Now,
this is an existential threat to the bandit.
if I'm being real with you, though, I understand you're thinking ahead. You're trying to do that 3D chess several steps ahead so that there's more potholes, so there's more art.
Yes.
But I'm throwing it out there to you that maybe the Pothole Bandit is just good at art. So maybe once all the potholes are plugged up with art and this new mayor gets in and stops more potholes from happening, the Pothole Bandit will move on to walls. Walls have holes in them.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a hole-in-the-wall restaurant? That could get plugged up real quick by the wall hole bandit.
I really thought you were going to make a glory hole joke, Josh. And
Yeah.
I'm so upset that you didn't.
No.
I'm going to catch you one day.
I did let you down. in
One
that
day,
moment.
I'm going to get you to make a dirty joke like that.
I could see you looking at me like it's about to happen, and then I dropped the ball.
I know I disagree, Josh, because listen, a lot of artists are really, really talented, but very few artists are talented enough to make it twice. In order to let this artist thrive, we have to let him or her or them work in the medium that they know best. Why take this away from them with public funding for the streets?
I think it's
Why? And here's another argument, Josh.
yeah.
Maybe what should really be happening is all that pothole money, you know, that bad pothole money, that dirty street pothole money,
Uh-huh.
put it back into schools and let the pothole bandit do his thing.
Okay. So the only issue I have with that idea is that
You hate kids.
Nah, it's not that.
You hate the kids.
It's not that exactly, but
I knew it.
it's basically this Pothole Bandit, you know, hopefully they're using the right resin, the right materials to like make it level. But we
Josh.
shouldn't put the well.
You're going to really insult a street artist on this show?
No, we're not insulting.
And the kids?
We're not
in
insulting.
one sentence?
We're not insulting. I'm saying we should not put it on the artists to have the right materials so that people's suspension on their cars is not busted.
I believe that private public,
Yeah.
the mayor can work with the pothole bandit,
Mhm.
make sure that they have the right cement, the right resin, what have you, to fill the potholes and do the art and get some kids some free lunch. And it just feels like what you want is a world where the kids don't get their free lunch, they don't get their breakfast, and they have to work in those streets filling the potholes rather than going to college and changing the trajectory of future Americans.
What? When did I win?
You
What?
just said it. That is verbatim what you
That
said.
did not happen.
I heard it.
I didn't say that at all.
I heard it. Can we put the "These Are Jokes" banner on that, even though
I was
they're
going
not
to put it all
offensive?
throughout this.
Honestly, I think whenever I speak, I need the
it's
"These
pretty
Are Jokes."
necessary based on some of the comments.
Some of these comments, man, are
Yeah.
like Ash. I didn't think I was that dry as an artist.
Okay.
Do you think I'm dry?
I think you have range, and I think one of the I think there's a dry side to that range.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might do drier than I think that I am.
Yeah, I think you are, because I think that you expect everyone to know that you're joking when you go full
On a comedy
bit.
podcast, yes, I do expect that. Yes.
Yeah, but when you go full bit, you know what I mean? And then I think sometimes you hit us with a little one-liner that's like very quietly said, that's very dry. That
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean-
I guess that is a little off-putting to people. You know what I find more off-putting? How little you care about the children
okay.
and the arts simultaneously.
I care about both. I want the children to be able to do art and everything, which I'll throw it
Don't
back
take
at
away
you.
the role model.
I'll throw it back at you, okay? Why do you not care about the future of the children that you want the pothole bandit out there plugging up holes all day like they get paid for it? We don't know how much they're making off that Instagram when they could.
And put your money where your mouth is, Josh. Selling out these theaters. Have you donated $1? I'm donating right now. Have you donated $1 to the Pothole Bandit? Where's the Venmo? Right now, I'm putting my money out there.
Look.
Hold on.
Look, I'm saying that
I'm about to give this guy money.
if the Pothole Bandit, right? If the Pothole Bandit has plugged up all the holes, has the art all out there, now the Pothole Bandit could become an art teacher. That's what really fixes it. That's what really puts art in the hands and the minds of children for decades to come. What creates a whole new generation of art, because now everybody plugging up potholes. This person might inspire the youth to plug up all the potholes in their own city.
What's funnier, $1 or $100?
I think $100 is wild, but it is funnier. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah. What?
How rude of you.
No, I'm saying $100. But what are you doing it for? It's not like you bought something, or it's not like you. So you just throwing $100 out there? Is that really their Venmo?
That's their Venmo.
Oh, geez. I thought you were joking. I didn't know you actually had it. Yeah.
I have his Venmo.
Yeah, do 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
You owe me $50, okay?
Yeah. That's one of the funnier donations I've ever seen of all right, I'm gonna do this much. You know you have, right?
So I've been reading this whole time during this discussion. He did an AMA on Reddit.
Oh.
How'd it go?
Pretty well. And there are apparently some kids copycatting his style.
Yeah, and
There's one
you can organize the youth if you're a teacher.
But it's because it's cool.
Yeah.
Because it's cool because it's underground and it's anonymous. No one's copying their art teacher.
Well,
No one
don't know that.
No one's putting on
That's
a
pretty
big
true.
moo-moo.
You don't know
That's
that.
Oh,
true.
I know it, Josh.
No, you have
That's
no idea. You don't know it. There are a couple art teachers out there that made future art teachers. They dressing just like them. Okay? They got the same vibes.
They got
as
a lot
them.
of crystals. They have a
Because
lot of turquoise.
I imagine if you're an art teacher, and let's say you teach for a full 40 years, the art teachers that I was around as a kid have been at the school that I was at for a long time.
Shout out to the art teachers, just by the way.
Yeah.
You guys rock.
No, for sure.
Would
for sure.
I ever want to be you? No, never.
They are the only teachers that really encourage imagination.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, this is a fact, know it or you're dumb. That's how a lot of kids feel in school.
That's the best impression of a teacher I've ever heard.
No, it's not really, but it's just I loved history. I loved my history teacher. I love even with language. I loved my language teachers and everything. I was blessed to have plenty of great teachers, but they're teaching you what they know, and what they know is just right. Art is one of the only classes you can go to where it's no, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you when you're done if it looks like that. Because art is up to interpretation, but you can't interpret it so hard that you're yeah, that's a pony, even though it clearly looks like a bench.
That'd be a wild. I guess a pony could look like a bench.
With no head, yeah.
Yeah, no head.
And so I'm saying, obviously an
Or
art
a
teacher,
weird one-armed bench.
yeah, art teacher has to teach you technique.
That's fair. I think we're in the weeds.
Fair enough. Yeah. I just really had to make it known that I was pro art teacher.
You're almost speaking to me as if I'm purposefully trying to hurt your squeaky clean image.
No. I don't think that at all. I just think that sometimes you throw out things like, I'm not for the kids, and I don't support the arts and stuff.
I didn't see you paying the art bandit.
I did pay after you paid. You told me I owe you $50.
I don't see it.
But that's 50 of my dollars what you did to 100.
Listen, when you pay me back, I'll say that you support the arts.
This would be a wild way to bankrupt somebody, to be like, hey, so I got you down for half and I gave way more than you have.
By the way, it's $10,000. No. Venmo doesn't let you. It's 100. Here, I paid him 100, and as you can see,
Oh, for a second I thought you said 100 as in 100,000. I was like,
That'd be
it
crazy.
just keeps going up.
yeah,
I keep paying the bandit.
yeah,
I have kind of a fun news story.
yeah. Let's do your news.
You want to do
story.
news story?
Yeah,
we do news.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I have two. The first one, I just have a quick.
Okay.
Did you hear about the humanoid robots in China? They're running half marathons.
I did not hear about them running.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have some really. My background is in software. I've done some humanoid work. I've done robotics. To make a humanoid run is one of the most difficult problems, and that's really that's incredible that they were able to do that. I think as Americans, we should all be scared, and some Americans really get it. They're very upset because the robots won, and I think they have every right to be upset because my understanding is that they are trans women. So we got to look into whether or not those wins are legit. Because that's just as scary as AI and humanoids. If you're really paying attention to Fox, they're trans women, Josh. The robots. It's like they were Popeye when he ate his spinach.
What?
Except
Not
they
as
didn't
cheap
eat
as it
is to rip off a woman.
What are you saying?
Donald Trump is making America great again. I don't want to watch weak women. They're biologically enhanced cyborg humanoids.
Okay. Well, what was your other news?
I didn't expect this, but I truly expected that to be a one-liner.
Sure. No, I'm with you.
Alex, good luck with editing that. Did you hear about the helicopter that dropped marshmallows over Detroit?
No.
Apparently every year, the Parks and Rec department in the city, they take a helicopter and they go into the park and they drop marshmallows for all the kids. And the kids run out and get the marshmallows. And it's like really beautiful. And I was reading about this and I thought, oh, just take that and solve some hunger.
Yeah.
Like right up the block.
Sure.
They can't drink the water.
Sure. No, that is not incorrect. It is weird that cities will still do these like huge gestures that they have them in the budget to do, and people in the city are like not doing well at all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't want anything to be fun or anybody to have fun, but like it is crazy that it is crazy that every year you're like, but we gotta do the marshmallow thing.
People are gonna be pissed if we don't do the marshmallow thing.
But then people are like, hey, the water is dirty. And you're like, that's a you issue. All right. I don't even live in town like I'm supposed to as a representative. I have clean water.
In DC,
Yeah.
the water is sparkly.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of how Mayor Adams is.
Yeah.
He like lives in Jersey.
Yeah. He does not live here. I also think it's probably so expensive to get the helicopter. I mean, it has to be.
What I think is expensive is the dude who clearly has to lean out of the helicopter to throw these marshmallows out, because I'll tell you right now, for me to do it, you paying me a cool $150.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? I'm going to need 6 figures and some life insurance, because unless I'm strapped to the inside of that helicopter.
No, I'm sure they're strapped in with like harnesses and stuff like that. The whole operation, plus the gas on the helicopter. I know that's stupid.
No,
but like
it's
all
not.
of it is just.
Yeah.
Then the marshmallows that miss. There's got to be a lot of marshmallows that miss.
Man, imagine if it's your first day in Detroit. And you like, man, you know, maybe it's your first day in Detroit and you even having a bad day. You getting robbed. Bill, you got your hands up, everything. Hey, please don't kill me. I got a lot to live for. I got family that loves me, everything like that. And you talking, and then all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. They dropping like popcorn. And you and the thief are looking around like, what is this whimsy? Oh, might make that mugger change his mind.
It's true. Actually, now I don't think we're thinking about it the right way.
Yeah.
How many lives were saved just because joie de vivre?
Maybe 2. Probably not many. I'm not
Worth it.
thinking many.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Do you have news?
Okay.
We're over time if you
Oh, it's probably best that we wrap up then, because I don't know if my news will be.
Josh, I
good.
really think I held it down with the trans stuff. I think all of that will probably be in there, given that it is 100% what I believe.
Thanks so much for watching What's News with You, the only show about everything that's not in the news. I am Josh Johnson.
I am Ashley Gavin.
And
the definition of a woman is
you probably don't want to donate to the Patreon, but if in any way that you do, just go to patreon.com/WNWY. It helps us do this show. It helps us pay Alex, who I want to remind you did nothing wrong in this episode and deserves a paycheck. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to our field correspondents. Get well soon to our guest anchor who was sick. And if you, it would actually be very funny to like just bleep everything that you're saying. Like it's like, and you know, I want you to go out there and be yourself. I want you to be happy all week and all weekend. I want you to be happy until we see you next time, bringing you more news that's not in the news. Have a great and wonderful day.
Take if you're not.
We cannot let this be the last thing that's said.